what it is, what's happening. So, it's just another work day. Drug this thing in a couple nights ago. I think you can kind of see what's going on. Got some issues in the front end. Lost a wheel bearing. I mean, he got all his money out of that wheel bearing. So I got to do wheel bearing, brakes, destroyed the rotor. My buddy's 60 Ford pickup, I finally got the last of the couple pieces I need to put that truck back together. Well, it's together, but I've got to change out the front U-bolts because they were too short. And then check the charging system, and that truck will be out here. A lot of guys asked about that truck. Not so much here on the YouTube channel as on my TikTok and my Facebook. But haven't forgotten about it, just been waiting on parts. The other project that I've been fooling with, some guys were asking on my other social medias, is the how's the 58 Bird coming along? Well, I had to roll it out of the shop. I got a Cadillac in there I'm doing timing chains on. But the motor's in it, trans is in it. I just threw a tarp over because I didn't feel like putting the hood on it. So I got the motor in it. Trans is in it. I've got to make a trans cross member. The original cross member won't work with the small block motor and trans. A couple guys were asking, why am I doing this to this car? Well, I bought this car. This car was motor and transless when I bought it. It's actually a really nice car. I did get a motor with it. I got a trans that I know absolutely nothing about. And that's it. So I'm missing everything else. Everything else to the car is gone. Did not come with the car. So, those old 352s, they run good. They work well. They're not easy on gas. And they're kind of dinosaurs. So, since I'm missing so much stuff, and I have so much small block Ford stuff, it makes sense to just do this. I'm not restoring this car. I may even just, the body on the car is really nice. It's got a couple spots underneath the door that need some attention on both sides. But other than that, it's a really nice, solid car. I'll be honest with you. I'm either going to flat black this car, or I'm going to prep it and take as much chrome off of it as I can and just take it and drop it off to Mako or something. I'm not spending $1 million on it. I just want it to be a driver. I want it to be something you can drive. You can get in, you can go to the store, go to the local car show, and actually just enjoy the car. If you make it too damn nice, you're afraid to drive it. If you make it mediocre, you'll run the wheels off of it. Trust me, I know, I've owned plenty of this junk. But the brake system is all done. Now, I did not go crazy. It's got all new brake lines and hoses. I redid all the wheels. I just kept it standard master cylinder. Again, and the whole idea is to keep this thing cheap. I had this motor, I had this distributor, I had the intake, I had the carburetor, I had the valve covers. I did, however, buy the headers. They're just some eBay Fox Body Mustang headers, which actually fit really, really well in this chassis on both sides. Everything that you see, other than, like I said, the headers, I had. Right down to the plug wires, I had them. This is all stuff that I bought at swap meets, bought from buddies of mine. Just crap I've accumulated over the years, was going to use on another project, never got to it, yada, yada, yada. And the shit just lays around. So I gathered a lot of it up, and there you go. I mean, I even have a radiator out of a Fox Body that I think I'm just going to use it. It's got electric fans and all already mounted on it. Pretty nice piece. I'll probably just use it. And the funny thing is, I don't even own a Fox Body Mustang, but I have tons of this shit laying around. So, it's just about ready to fire up. I gotta either make some transmission lines, or the lines that were in the trunk of the car, they might work. I'm going to run an external trans cooler on it. The dry shaft would not work. I'm going to have to, the original dry shaft was too short, but I have a dry shaft out of a Ranchero that's actually a little longer. It needs to be shortened, so I'll just do that. Once I get the trans lines hooked up, I'll probably just knock the yoke off of one of the dry shafts I have laying around, shove it in the trans. That way I can at least fill the trans and get the motor fired up. I have not done that. Just regular work takes over. It happens all the time. Got something kind of interesting coming up. I won't fool with it till next week. If you can see that white Ford pickup. It's a 2018 F-150 5.0 four-wheel drive. Buddy of mine bought that truck the same exact time I bought my truck. Now he's got, I forget how many miles on it, 70-some thousand miles on it. I got 10,000 miles. So it's here for, it's got a cam code, it's got a clicking noise and an axle, and change of oil. So I'll do a little content on that since it's a fairly new truck. And actually that'll probably be the newest thing that I've worked on in this shop. Most everything else I work on is mid to, I'd say probably, well, that's a lie, because there's a little minivan down there. You can see it. That's a 17, I believe. So I just put a motor in that, so that's a lie. That's a lie. That is what it is. I haven't really done anything more with this 54 Dodge truck that I bought. I'm still trying to figure out, these wheels are a big issue. They're 6-lug. They're 2-piece wheels, and I don't know what I want to do. I kind of want to keep the look of it, because after all, this really was used as, it is a tow truck. It's a homemade tow truck. The wrecker boom you would buy from the company called Manley and install it on whatever truck you had. This was actually installed on this truck probably 50 years ago. They actually used this thing to haul cars to a junkyard. So I really, really want to keep it the way it is. But I'm having a hard time with these damn wheels because nobody makes any wheels. They're 6-lug. They're 2-piece wheels, so nobody wants to put tires on them. So I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with this situation. I can't come up with anything in my head what I want to do. I would like to keep it a dually, because that would just kind of complete the look. And what I like to do with the truck is I like to just clean this paint up, maybe flat clear it or something, and put my name on the doors, and leave the truck just kind of ratty. Build some kind of sides here, because this actually had a wooden bed on it, but the guy I bought it from had took it off. He did actually give me some pictures, or actually I got some pictures of what it looked like before. But it's a pretty cool truck, but I have not done anything with it since I drug it here. And you can see it's a project. It does have a small block Chevy in it that somebody started putting in, we believe, roughly 30 years ago. I mean, kind of. It's down in there. So I'll probably keep it a small block, which I think is kind of cool. That motor obviously is not going to run. I'm sure it's full of water. I've got a couple small blocks in there that I know are, actually I've got a really good, it's a 305, but it's a fresh motor. It hadn't even had oil in it. I may just use that. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be towing cars with it. I just don't know what I want to do for a trans. Right now, it's got a top loader 4-speed truck trans, the old style with the creeper gear. Don't know if I want to keep that. Probably not, because with the gears are in this rear and that trans, this thing will probably have a top speed of like 40 mile an hour. So I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. We'll address that as we get to it. But I'm going to leave a lot of this, how crudely it's mounted on the truck. I mean, it's pretty crude. You can see where they just cut a lot of it up with a torch. I mean, that would have been, you know, it's probably welded with a stick welder, which would be real common for the time frame. I mean, let's think about it. If this thing was installed 40 years ago, guys didn't have plasma cutters, guys didn't have cut-off wheels and sawzalls and chop saws. I mean, you had a torch and you had a stick welder. And that's how a lot of this stuff was really built. It's crude, it looks rough, but that's how the stuff was really done back then. I mean, guys didn't have, you know, all this fancy equipment that they have today, and they call themselves fabricators. I actually, even though as crude as that is, I would consider that guy more of a fabricator than some of these clowns today. Well, I'm a fabricator. Yeah, you got like $9 million worth of tools. Any monkey could operate the tools and call themselves a fabricator. I want to see you build something with a set of torches, a hammer, and a stick welder and make it look good. That's a fabricator, in my opinion. But I'm old school. But I want to leave it ratty and crude looking. That I think is going to give the truck character. I have not decided if I'm going to sandblast the boom and repaint it. Part of me wants to, and part of me wants me to leave it the hell alone. Just recable it and you know, put all new lights on it, make the lights work. Now I'm going to leave the yellow beacon light, but these other lights I'll replace because they're all busted up. This is a project. I'll probably forward it over to winter. I know how I am. I'm a great project starter. I love to get halfway deep into something and just stop. That's how I like to work. And then come back to it 2 years later and totally forget what I was doing the first time. But I am going to get this Thunderbird running. I really want to get this thing running. If anything, get it to where it runs on its own power and moves. Right now, I'm pushing around with a tow truck. But it's close to getting ready to fire up. Like I said, I just stopped because I need to lift for customer work. You know, my projects always have to sit to the sidelines. So look, I'm gonna get at it. Try to get these timing chains done in this Cadillac today, and maybe start on this Dodge. Actually, I need to run over to the store and get some parts. So look, holla at your boy. Keeps it reals, and I'll catch you on the next one.